सह वीर्यङ्करभावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। गुणत्रय विभाग योग. 13th chapter, what we have seen earlier. You're able to hear me? This Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga needs. Wait, you need to increase more, or you want me to speak more? Increase. Let's see. Yeah. Now decrease. First increase and then decrease. Let me. We will know. Increase little. Yeah. Turn the angle of the speaker. Yeah. Now increase. Check. Check. Now decrease a bit. Yeah. Or all of you shift here. Decrease a bit. Okay. The 13th chapter, what we have seen earlier, he spoke a very high level of philosophy, a terse philosophy that is. You see, very difficult to comprehend. More of theoretical ideas, theorems. Now, as a rule, what they maintain is anytime they give a theorem, immediately they give practical. So, theorem would always followed by practical. Exactly like after explaining a theorem in the maths class, immediately they will give you sums for you to solve. So, you immediately understand the application of it. So, otherwise, pure theorem we will not be able to relate to. See, so that's the same principle is what Krishna is adopting here. 13th chapter is pure philosophy. Now, in the 14th chapter, he comes down to our level and starts explaining certain ideas. That's why we have this, 14th chapter, Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, which Krishna himself starts. 13th chapter was started by Arjuna because he asked few words. We must have heard those words earlier. See? So he thought it's a good chance. So he asked, why don't you clarify those things? Can you explain what is Kshetra, what is Kshetrajna, what is Jnanam, Jnayam, Purusha, Prakriti, all those things. Having explained all that, Krishna understood that he has explained the concept. Now he needs to give certain ideas which you can apply and see. So that's how we have this 14th chapter, Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, the yoga of distinction of the three gunas. 3 is added. Guna. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. This is the 3 gunas. And now you will be hearing these 3 words again and again and again till 18th chapter. Right. So, how many shades he is going to paint on each guna is an outstanding piece. What amount of research they must have done to collect that much of information is amazing. know, chapter after chapter we'll see. Of course, in the 15th chapter, he is not going to talk about it. Again, 15th chapter, he goes to philosophy, pure philosophy. So it's like a wave, you know. He goes up and then he comes down. Again he goes up, again comes down, again he goes up, and says that's it. Beyond that, Arjuna could not take. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita had 18 chapters. If Arjuna has not told all my moha gone, Krishna would have continued. Maybe he would have had 24 chapters. And then we will give an explanation for how 24 number is so sacred. It doesn't make any difference, you see. Like they say, 13 number, many apartments will not have 13 number. 13, or 13th floor. They'll have 12, 12A, 14. Floor number 13 doesn't exist because somebody did some research and found, 13 number had lot of problems. Now, if you do research and say 14 number, how all accidents happen, right? Wednesday, 14th. Wednesday, in the history, in the last 2000 years, if you take Wednesday, 14th, any time Wednesday were to fall on 14th, number, dignitaries die. Right? Some great scholars die. Some politician die, or some war starts. You will find data for that. See, any data you want, world will have it. You want to say cigarette is good for health, you will find. That's how it started. That cigarette was helpful, said. That's how they started making cigarettes. And then they found no, it is not very healthy. Whatever you want, you will find information. That is why we say, don't go by this research paper says this. There are people who are even now saying, there has never been a thing called corona. You know that? There's no corona at all. All these fellows wanted to create one vaccine and made this one made a lot of money. People are dying because of vaccine more than corona. Fascinating ones. Anything you want, you will find data. Bhagavad Gita had 18 chapters, so you will find a lot of people giving 18 is a very auspicious number. 18 days Mahabharata war happened. 18 chapters given on the first day itself. How does Krishna know it is going to happen for 18 days? Rama Ravana Yuddha happened for 24 days. So 24 is more auspicious. Because Rama himself participated, no? The war. Here Krishna was just a charioteer, that's all. There Rama himself participated, which is better? He himself playing or sitting as a 12th man? Virat Kohli sitting as a 12th man. Will you watch that match or Virat Kohli playing the match? You prefer to watch a match where he's playing, Which is better? Give some number, that's all. Don't worry about any numbers. Every number is auspicious. Every akshara is auspicious. There is no auspicious, inauspicious. All sounds are auspicious here. So, in the 14th chapter, Krishna himself starts the whole thing, where you find a beautiful explanation of how your mind is operating. If you want to understand your mind, how it works, how this your thoughts, your moods. One time you look in one way, another time you look another way. See, suddenly you change. Your mood completely changes. And when your mood changes, your entire personality looks very different. Is that person? It's very difficult to believe. On one dimension, you are such a sweet person. Another dimension, you are a Rakshasa. One aspect of you is very nice. Another aspect of you is so bad. What are you now? Whatever surfaces, that's what you are. What are the things that you are carrying inside? So that what surfaces you will be able to understand yourself better. Thereby, you would not have this unnecessary regrets in life. The constant problem of us is why I did what I did. I should not have done that. I should not have thought like this. I should not have said this. I should not have said this in this way. It's not a third party coming and telling you. You yourself understand. You see, then why did you say that? Why did you do that? What made you to do it? That's what he is going to explain here. To know the answer, you have to study 14th chapter. See, this essential dimension of what you require is a working knowledge of your mind, not a theoretical knowledge of your mind. Right? Mind has, conscious mind, subconscious mind, unconscious mind, this mind, that mind, Allah will not help you. It will help a therapist to you as a person. Because what is available to you, accessible to you, is only conscious mind. Subconscious mind, unconscious mind is not accessible to you. So what you are going to do with your conscious mind is what is going to be the defining factor. Because subconscious got the strength from where? By itself. Imagine subconscious were to have a strength by itself, then you can never overcome that. Because psychology itself says 1/8 is alone conscious. Another 7/8 is subconscious. Right? According to their research. I don't know on what basis they decided 8. Right? Maybe 10 would have been a better number. Number they have to fix. As I said, you need something to take a call. Like that they had this. The idea of having the mind and working knowledge of the mind you require. You have to understand the mind from an angle where it is possible for you to do something. So no point in understanding subconscious mind is so powerful than the conscious mind. If subconscious mind is independently powerful, can you ever overcome that? Can you ever undo what is done by the subconscious? It's impossible. So now the question is 7/8 bigger or 1/8 bigger? The 7/8 gets its strength. The feeder comes from this 1/8. Now you tell me which is powerful. Conscious mind powerful or subconscious mind powerful? That's what the problem is. You see, you will say that, but then actual working wise, if you see, your subconscious is so powerful. You see, it is so powerful. But from where the whole feeder goes, subconscious. So what is possible for you to work, you need to work. Where you cannot put in any effort, you just cannot do anything there. It is not within the purview of your control. Subconscious, subconscious is what is controlling your entire personality. If subconscious is controlling your entire personality, then if that is absolute truth, is it ever possible for you to change yourself? Because subconscious cannot be manipulated, controlled, modified, managed. Why? Because it is that subconscious that is managing you. If subconscious is managing you, if subconscious is independently gaining strength, the source of strength for subconscious is independent, then whatever you learn, whatever you do, you will never be able to overcome the subconscious. Which means you are always a victim. You can never be a victor. So, where is the effort? What is the use of such knowledge only? Finally, to say nothing can be done. Correct? No. If you say subconscious is having independent one, that's why they say no, no. Subconscious is not having independent one. The subconscious is having the strength. From where? From your conscious, which is only minuscule part of your entire mind. But that minuscule part, that minority, has tremendous power. So when you are going to be managing the subconscious, you are not managing the subconscious. You have to manage the conscious. How you are going to manage the conscious mind will define, will modify, will manage, will control. Because nowadays control is a very negative word. Managing, governance. Governance, now you think it's a good word. And difference, I don't know. Some word you wanted to use new. I say any word you want to use which is comfortable for you, use. Doesn't matter. But then what defines it, sir? That working knowledge, where you are going to get. Chapter 14. That working knowledge of what you can do, what is your conscious, what is that subconscious, where you have to, how that manifestation happens, how the subconscious comes as a conscious, and how this conscious gets into subconscious, what that entire cycle is all about, why there is so much of variety, so much of fluctuations in your own personality and the people around. How do you account all that? They say all that gets accounted by just these three words: sattva, rajas, tamas. And the best part is, all other sadhanas, all other techniques will bring you to better sattvic mind. Right? All sadhanas, all efforts. But the transcendence of the guna is where philosophy goes far beyond psychology. See, psychology also will talk about all these things. But psychology will say that you just have to be who is the best individual? Who is a normal individual? Okay. Who is a normal person? According to them, who is a normal person? The one who is not abnormal. As a normal person. Normal person will do what in the class? Keep quiet. Suddenly you'll not stand and start dancing here. If you imagine suddenly one fellow comes and starts dancing, we call that as abnormal. Why? Dancing itself is wrong or what? Hey, this fellow wants to dance, he's dancing. What is wrong with you? But definitely we will say that is abnormal. Why? Because that is not to the context here. We are not singing bhajan. This is not a disco. This is not a ballroom. This is a classroom. In a ballroom, if you dance gracefully or without any grace, doesn't make a difference. Right? That's why group dance everybody will do. Ask a fellow to come alone and dance, not possible. Solo, that is not possible. Because why we know there's no grace in the movement. No, dance in a what? Moving the body gracefully. That's called dance. Now, in the context, if you are not behaving, who fixes the context? That's normal. So, normal person means who? The one who is functioning well within the framework. But the framework is provided by who? Collective. All of us have decided now we are not going to be singing songs. Now we are going to be sitting and studying. This is decided by, we decided. Right. Suddenly if I say, let's sing this song, Atma Rama, let's sing. You sing. In between in the class you start singing. Who's going to stop? The collective people, individuals, which is what we call as society. So, who is a normal person? The one who understands the social norms and functions within that. He is a normal person. When I come to your house, I simply cannot walk into the kitchen, open the fridge, take a bottle of water and drink. What I should do? Excuse me. May I have some water, please? If there is a possibility of having a chilled one, better, because summer started and I'm feeling thirsty. If you may get me some glass of chilled water. I was about to say something else, but I don't say that. Corrupted mind thinks like that. What to do? I was about to say chilled, Nimbu Pani. Corrupted. That is normal. But who decided that? So, what is a normal person according to them? Those who are not fitting into the norms of the society, they will bring them and fit them in. But what if the norm itself is stupid? Imagine, that's what they say, no? In the land of the blind, or in the land of mad people, imagine the whole society is mad, right? And we have some weird rules. A normal person will appear to all of us as what? In insane group, a sane will appear as insane. Insane will appear as normal. Amongst insane people, they will have excellent understanding. Have you seen? Two insane fellows will have fantastic relationship. So when someone comes and says, my relationship with my husband and wife going very well, means what? Rendu paithiyam. We don't have any fights. So very smooth. We're having our, 25th year of wedding. We are celebrating. Please come. I will come and eat. What is my problem? Have a good relationship. What is a good relationship? Two insane people. What is that? It's a question of what? Totally insane, little insane, really insane. It's just a question of degree. This is not what Vedanta says. This is what psychology says. Everyone is mad. It's a question of degree. Everyone is depressed. Question of degree. One fellow gets depressed once in a while, another fellow gets depressed once in a week, another fellow gets depressed every day. You are depressed every hour. So it's a question of what? Degree. What Vedanta, where philosophy comes, is it is refusing to accept, nor it is asking you to become a rebel. Now, if you go by this, the only option you will have is, sir, I'm going to be rebelling against the norms given by the society. Like I said, what if the group itself is stupid? So who are those people? Those people were all nothing but just the rebels. Now Vedanta is not asking you to rebel against the society outside. It says, if you have courage, transcend. Transcendence of the mind, transcendence of the guna is where philosophy comes. It is not asking you to make a better person. Of course, in the initial stages, first you need to refine yourself. You got to get better. You got to get better. You got to work on your betterment. But then, finally, what is it, sir? You got to jump out of it. The transcendence. That's how the chapter concludes. What is the properties? What is the qualities of a guna atita? The one who has transcended the gunas. You got to learn to transcend the gunas. So the agenda is very clear here. Remember, we are studying about the gunas, not to get stuck within the gunas. We are not studying about the mind. We are not gaining the knowledge of mind so that we can use the mind for better life. We can use that knowledge to go beyond mind. Only when you are thinking of going beyond mind, you are touching philosophy. That's where religion comes, spirituality comes. Philosophy, religion, spirituality, all same. Right? They're all same thing. What is religion, sir? Remember, religion means practicalization of philosophy is called religion. Remember this. Now, whenever you say, I don't want religion, which means you are rejecting the practical application of philosophy. When you are not applying, I want science, I don't want technology. I am against technology, but I am for science. If someone says, what do you call him as? Huh? Imagine someone tells you, I am for science. I am not for technology. That means he neither understands technology nor understands science. He doesn't know both. It's like this fellow goes to a musician after the concert. Sir, that Mohana Raga you song, super, sir. The musician says, I can appreciate, I'm so grateful that you like my singing. Thank you. But one thing I know, you don't know two ragas. Shankarabharanam and Mohanam, you don't know. All other ragas you may know, but these two ragas you don't know. Why? Because what I sang was Shankarabharanam. You sing Shankarabharanam, this fellow goes and says Mohana raga is very good. Simply go and say, why unnecessarily expose your ignorance? All they have to say, Mohana this. Sing, appreciate and leave, no? We can't keep like that. So that's how people say these days, I am spiritual, not religious. What does it mean? It means I am for science, not for technology. Religion is a technology. Remember, practicalizing. Is there a word? Leah. Great one.
There is now. Now there is.
Now from today onwards. One 2,500 of Shakespeare I have become. Shakespeare has given individually, you know that, no? Has given over 2,500 words to English. Amazing contribution. Someone to give a word to a language. God, what a great personality has to be that. So we can also say, from today I have given one word. What is this? Practicalizing philosophy, spiritual, is called religion. It's the same thing. It goes hand in hand. You can never separate spiritual from religion. It's two sides of the same coin. I am accepting the head part of the coin, sir. Tail part I am not accepting. It's an impossibility. So it's a very wrong idea, remember. So we see here in this chapter the practical application of this knowledge. Simple one. It's not a very complex philosophical idea style, but beautiful ideas are there here. So we'll see that. Verse 1.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha Param Bhuya Pravakshyami Jnananam Jnanamuttamam Yajñātvā munayas sarve Param Siddhimito Gataha Shri Bhagavanuvacha Param Bhuya Pravakshyami Jnananam Jnanamuttamam Yajñātvā munayas sarve Param Siddhimito Gataha.
The Blessed Lord said, I will again declare the supreme knowledge, the best of knowledges, which having known all sages have gone from here to ultimate perfection. He is giving intro into the next idea. So before he is moving on to the next idea, he is giving a base. Verse 1 and 2. He gives the base and then he moves on to the ideas. So here in verse 1 and 2, what he is doing is, first he is establishing what is the greatness and the glory of this knowledge. And what is the effect of this knowledge? What will happen to you if you gain this knowledge? Right, what is the result? The phala, the fruit of this knowledge. And he gives a promise to teach the knowledge. So there is a promise he is giving, and the greatness of knowledge and the fruit of knowledge. This is all you see in verse 1 and 2. And now, going into the verse proper, you say, Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Vacha said, Sri Bhagavan, the Blessed Lord. Param bhuya pravakshyami. This is a beautiful statement. I will again declare. Again declare why? See, in understanding a text, a Shastra, to be taken as an authority, it should not have certain defects. Only then it will be accepted. Otherwise, it will not be accepted. One of the defects they have is known as Punarukti dosha. Punarukti means repeating the same thing. Repetition is treated as a dosha for the texts. Classical literatures, if you see, they should not repeat the same thing. See, but here, authoritative text, we say, Prasthanatraya, authoritative texts. One is Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, the teacher himself says very emphatically, I will again say, Pravakshyami. Vakshyami means repeating. Again, Pravakshyami, he qualifies that. He prefixes with this word, Pravakshyami. I will declare. I will explain again. Then we ask this question, then isn't it Krishna is guilty of Punarukti dosha? Right. Now beauty here. And we say no. Even though he says, I again repeat, for every rule, there is always exception. You can never have a rule without exception. If there is a red light on the road, every vehicle should stop. Exception is what? Ambulance. Not your car. You can go, but then you will have to pay the fine. Ticket will come. So you have to pay the fine. Not allowed. Exception is there. One way you cannot go, but ambulance can go in one way. You can go. Then again there is a rule there. Not any time. Ambulance fellow going to fill petrol. He can't say, I will jump signal. Not allowed. See, only when he is going to pick up or he is having a patient. Earlier, it used to be only if the patient is inside. And then the case and all came into the court. Then the court verdict says, no, even they had to go and pick up on time, no. So, they should be allowed to jump signal even when they are going to pick up. Other times, no. So, even in exception, there is a rule there. You see, so it is a rule, there is an exception. Always remember that those exceptions also will have certain conditions. It is not unconditional exceptions, please. So if it is unconditional exceptions, then it is, you are giving free license. That cannot be discipline. So that's what we study in, Sanskrit. Sanskrit grammar is complex. They say, why it is so complex is because number of rules are less, exceptions are more. See, in all other grammars in the world, rules are there, few exceptions. India, rules are very limited. Exceptions only keeps changing. Conditions changes, exception changes. That condition, that exception, That for that exception, they put a rule. For that rule, there will be an exception. By the time you finish it, beautiful system. But so same way here, is Krishna guilty of this Punarukti dosha? We say no, he is not. Why? And they give various reasons for that. So beautiful analysis. So he says, I will declare again. Why he says, sir? Because when the teacher is teaching, the teaching is happening not out of compulsion. The teaching is happening out of compassion. Remember, not out of compulsion. Not like, max teacher in the classroom. Whether you like it or not, you are appointed as a max teacher, you have to go, this period is yours, should go, teach, go. You can't do more, you can't do less. You can't say, I will extend the class. Cannot be. Nor can they say, I'll finish the class in 15 minutes and leave the students. That will also not be allowed. If it is 45 minutes, it has to be 45 minutes. That is the rule. You see, so they have to be, it is out of compulsion. But when it comes to this masters and these gurus, when they teach, their teaching is not out of compulsion. You can't compel a guru to teach Brahma Vidya. You see, impossible. So why they teach then, sir? They teach out of their compassion. So when the teaching is happening out of compassion, the natural tendency of compassion is to say things again and again. This is the perennial problem between husband and wife. You see that? A fellow says, last week I was there, Calcutta. He just called me. Anyone calls me, for lunch, dinner, I know there is a problem. If you are not having a problem, you will not call me. If they are calling me, there is a problem between husband and wife. So they called. I know, okay, I went. This fellow, sir, it is 4 years of marriage. I said, only 4 years, no? Remember, 1 year is like 1 month. This is how we calculate. You see, marriage, you calculate like that. 1 year. Well, that's why in our things, we say 7 janmas. We book a person for 7 janmas. Problem solved, Otherwise, it's a nuisance every time to search. For a new person is a problem. So it's better to book long term. Problem. What is the problem? He never says, I love you. And therefore said, I am the one who told you I love you first. He told a proposal time that fellow said, I love you. That man says what? I told you I love you, no? I proposed you, I married you, and then I am doing everything to you. And all that you are asking, you wanted to change the house, top to bottom. I helped you to change the whole thing. I gave you that money to do this. I gave you full permission. You are the boss of the house. Everything I'm doing. More than this, what you want? But you never say I love you. Emotion. Remember, emotion means repetition. If there is no emotion, there will not be repetition. See, in logic, there will not be repetition. In emotion, strength is only in repeating. If you don't repeat, you are finished. It is of no use. That's where, they started believing in the expression. That's why they said, every day you tell your wife, I love you 5 times. Like you go to office, say, call her and say, I love you. Put the phone down. 11:30 you call her, love you, put the phone down. 1:30 you call her, love you, put the phone down. 3:30 you forget. Secretary will call you. Sir, time for you to tell love you. By mistake, therefore, tells that girl. The problem. What you do in life is, you see, the teaching is coming out of love and affection. See, when this affection is what is the source for that knowledge. And this affection, not only that, remember, the student is also showing tremendous interest. As it is, the teacher is full of compassion, right? On top of that, the student is showing so keen appetite to learn. He wants to learn more and more and more, right? So his appetite is so much. He wants more from the teacher. He wants more from the teacher. When such a scenario happens, and definitely Krishna must have seen from the face of Arjuna that he is so keen, so interested. You see, and remember, on top of that, the topic of discussion is also to keep it interesting. You see, the teaching has to happen. At the same time, the teaching should happen in an interesting manner. This is the responsibility of the teacher, is it not? I have to teach Bhagavad Gita. At the same time, what I need to do, sir? I need to keep that class interesting, engaging. It is dragging. After 15 minutes, you will start looking at the clock. That's why I put the clock that side. You know, if I put the clock here, what will happen? All of you will be looking there. No. You should not be allowed to look back, assuming you are interested. Right? If you are not interested, you will not be here, first of all. Right? For whatever reason you have come and you lose interest, let's say, what should be the case then, sir? So he gives this. He says, I am teaching this, Arjuna, because it is that the discussion, that interaction between the teacher and the taught is so engaging and interesting, enjoying. Anything which is so interesting, enjoyable by you, natural consequence of that is what? If you like Pushpa movie so much, understood is what?
You watch it again.
Avalada. There. If you don't like that movie, Pushpa theriyuma? Not the neighbor. That's why I did ask him. If I ask him, do you know Pushpana? He'll say, yeah, I know her very well. If you like something, natural tendency of us is what? You will want that to be repeated again and again and again. This conversation between Krishna and Arjuna, the discussion was so engaging and entertaining, interesting. From the teacher perspective, it is so enjoyable. The student is also enjoying. That's why every class we do the chanting. Ahana bhavatu, ahano gunat, ahaviryam karavavake, tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishava. Ahanaud means may he protect us, where the teacher and the taught chant together. What do they chant, sir? May he protect us. Why? We are engaging on something which is so profound. So let everything be conducive for this. That's your responsibility. We are not pleading. This Upanishadic prayer is not a pleading place. It is a command, as it were. You see, you command the universe. As it were, you command the Lord. You better give protection. Why? We are entering into the study. And how the study has to be, sir? It is so engaging. It is so interesting. The teacher should enjoy teaching. The student should enjoy learning. If the student is not enjoying learning, there is no use. That's what we ask. Anau Saha Viryan Karavava. Let there be that exertion. We are enjoying, okay, immediately relaxing. Sir. No, no, no. We are enjoying. No. Along with the enjoyment, let there be that exertion. Let us exert together. Tejasvinavaditamastu. Let the study bring out that tejas, that spiritual lustre. See, has to come. And in the process, Mahavid Vishavai. Let there not be any disputation between the teacher and the student. Because what the teacher says will be hitting you under the belt. It will be painful. I'm talking about teaching, not the class. See, this is the tuition class. Tuition teacher. Tuition teacher is a different one. School teacher is different. I'm talking about school teacher. So don't take this class. I'm talking about our class. Our class is like, देखो beta, this one. They have no use actually. You one whack you should give. Like Swamiji would always keep, 3 balls with him in the class. Any one pair of us were to give a wrong answer, throw one. You should be very alert to catch it. If you catch the ball now, you are in the cricket team. You miss the ball now, you are in the hospital. That's how it has to be. Why? Because what he is saying is exactly opposite to what you believe. How can you take it? That understanding is what is giving you this enjoyment. So when you are enjoying something, obvious thing is what? Repetition. So he says, I repeat. See, the teacher has to repeat certain ideas because many times, people come to me, sir, this question I've been having all these days. Only today I understood this. Why you didn't tell this before? I say, I've been saying that every class. I know what I'm talking, no? Right. But only on that day you understand. See, sometimes it happens, when the same thing is stated from a different angle with a different word, it strikes you. But that will not happen when it is stated earlier. And it is not that he is saying a new thing. It's not something new is coming. It's not something afresh he is saying. He's saying the same thing. But only thing is what? The same thing is viewed. Like this engineering, they do. top view, front view, side views. You see this drawings? They do the drawings, engineering drawings. Tough one, one machine or this one, thing they show and say you have to draw that from the top angle, top view, side view. It's so interesting. Sri Chakra, you have seen? Huh? You would have seen Sri Chakra. All that image that you're seeing of Sri Chakra is top angle. You know that? It is top angle actually. The side view, when you see it, you will not believe that is Sri Chakra. You will not understand. What is it? You will not understand. Only when you see that from the top angle only, oh, this is Sri Chakra. So interesting. Sringeri, how many of you have been? Sringeri temple. When you see that Sharda, you come out, go round and come back, and you exit. Just before exiting, to the right hand side, you will see the golden, chariot. You have seen that? The other side, you will see one huge thing. Next time when you go see, it will be there. They will not move that. That is Sri Chakra. You won't believe that. When I tell people, Sri Chakra. Enna Sri Chakra? Why is because that is seen from a side view. When you see from side view, you understand this is having different layers. But when you see from top angle, you see only one. It's very difficult for a person to believe it. They think, some lamps are there. What lamp they don't understand. Oh, some lamps they have kept here. They say, but this is so interesting. Chariot, you can understand. So you see a lot of people go to the chariot and do with so much of devotion. And the chariot is devotion, gold. If I had kept iron chariot, nobody will see. How many of you have seen all the chariots are standing outside the temple? Have you ever gone there and touched it with reverence? Why? It's all made of wood. Here, chariot is made of gold. Therefore, devotion. Illana devotion.
Is that the side view is what is called as Mahameru?
I don't know. I don't know about all those things. My point is only this. Certain things you understand only if it is given to you in a particular angle. So therefore, a teacher's responsibility is what? Is to ensure that you understand. Till the teacher is satisfied that you have understood, he will go on presenting these ideas from different angles. Therefore, Krishna saying, I am going to be declaring again. You cannot say he is guilty of this Punarukti dosha. See that? I'll try from another angle. Okay. The philosophical ideas is designed for you to grasp and understand, digest. Only when you have digested that idea, you will be able to live it. If you have not digested that idea, you cannot live it. That's where a lot of us have this gap. I know that I should not get angry, but then I know I should not feel jealous, but then I know I should not be greedy, but I know I should not lie, but we do know. It's not that you don't know this, you know it. According to you, you know it. But then why you are not able to live? Why there is a gap? The gap is because you have not understood that idea, digested that idea, assimilated that idea, and made it a part and parcel of your DNA. When it becomes part and parcel of your DNA, then you live it automatically. How do you make it part and parcel of your DNA? You have to go over that idea again and again and again. It's called abhyasa. Like yoga, Surya Namaskar, no?
It is manana also.
Manana, reflection. You have to go over that again and again. You got to reinforce that idea. See, the problem is not the lack of values. It's not that we don't have values. All of us have values. What is missing in our life is the reinforcement of it. We don't reinforce those ideas. Since it is not reinforced, it is so weak. So we are not able to live it. See? So how do you do that, sir? You have to do it by doing exactly like Surya Namaskar. You cannot say, I will do one Surya Namaskar and I should be healthy. How? One Surya Namaskar is not enough. You have to do it a stretch. You have to do at a stretch 12 Surya Namaskar you have to do. That also you have to do every day. Like that, if you keep doing, then over a period of 1 year or 2 years, you will see the difference. You cannot do one Surya Namaskar and stand in front of the mirror and say, has my posture changed? Nothing would have changed. See? So what is essential in the spiritual practice is the repetition, which is known as abhyasa. So for the sake of abhyasa, which the student is supposed to do by himself, the reflection which the student is supposed to do all by himself, the teacher is showing, demonstrating it. So seeing the teacher doing, you imitate. Like music class. Let's say you can't learn music by reading a book on music. You can't become a expert musician by reading a book on music. Not possible. You have to go to a teacher. The teacher has to sing. You have to listen, sing, and then he will say wrong, correct, sing again, listen, sing. He sings, listen, sing. So he has to demonstrate it. What you are supposed to do is this abhyasa, which you are not able to do on your own in the initial stages. Therefore, the teacher takes it as a responsibility on himself and says, I will do it on behalf of you. See how I am doing. Similarly, you do. So therefore, Krishna has to do what? Abhyasa. Abhyasa means what? Repetition. So, can you say Krishna is guilty of Punarupti dosha? No, you can't say that. Then you are accusing him without understanding the context. What is the greatness of this knowledge? What is the knowledge I am going to give you? And he gives two words, both meaning the same. There's a beauty here. What type of knowledge I'm going to give? I'm going to teach again. What I'm going to teach? I'm going to teach this knowledge again. That jnanam I'm going to give. What is the jnanam I'm going to give? Uttamam jnanam, param jnanam. Uttamam nalo super, param nalo great. Same meaning. Again, Punarupti dosha. See. Let's say we don't like to use, this synonymous terms. Many of these words used again and again is criticized for a classical literature. Now today, flowery speech means that you use lot of adjectives. You see, a lot of adjectives, which are it's the same thing. All that you have to say is it's a beautiful city, such a glorious, fantastic, fantabulous city is Bangalore. It'll be flowery, but meaning is what? There's no meaning there. Most of the things when you read, you should be very alert enough to read all these things. When you're reading something, you should be conscious, alert to recognize what is there. Is he presenting facts or is he presenting opinions? More and more adjectives, no opinions. Bangalore is a city. It's a fact. Bangalore is a beautiful city. It's opinion. You see the difference. According to me, it is a beautiful city. For another person, it may not be a beautiful city. So much of congestion. I said, leave the city, no. My fellow was telling me, so much of traffic, sir. Traffic. As though entire Bangalore stood in front of your house and said, please come. If you are not coming to Bangalore, what will I do? Go back to your village. After that, the fellow never came back. I told you, no, the teacher gives you the facts. It will be hitting under the belt. You can't take it. That's the difficulty here. This knowledge. So again, just now with so much of difficulty, I just justify Krishna is not guilty of Punarukti dosha. The same verse that fellow says. Again, what does it say? Uttamam jnanam, param jnanam. At least use some other word, no? Uttamam nalu param. Param nalu uttamam. Anything that is uttama has to be param. Param means uttamam. What difference, man? That's where we say, that's where we need those commentators. Bhashakaras. Without those Bhashakaras, if you read this thing, you will not make, you can't understand. First of all, you don't get the question itself. The problem is, when you read this was how he used to teach us. He would say, next verse, he will say. You all understand, no? I will declare the supreme knowledge. I am going to teach. Of course, Brahma Vidya is the highest Vidya. Do you have any doubts on that? All of you will say, no doubts, Swamiji. Right. Then he will say, best, of course, the best. And you are getting from the best teacher. He is talking about Krishna, not me. Right. I still remember this verse. He was doing in our class, Which having known all sages have gone from here to the ultimate perfection. All of them got realization. Next verse. You will not even get the question. You see, forget about answer. First, you should get a doubt. The Punarukti dosha is there, and that Punarukti dosha gets justified. Just now we justify, immediately that fellow falls into that trap of Punarukti. Masters ask this question. What they say is, from the angle of the Vishaya, it is Param. From the angle of the Phala, it is Uttam. See, Vishaya Drishtya Param Jnanam and the Phala Drishtya Uttamam Jnanam. So he says, I am going to give you that knowledge from the angle of the subject matter is Param Jnanam. From the angle of the Phala, it is Uttamam Jnanam. So two different angles. So Krishna is not falling into the category of, he is not guilty of this Punarukti dosha. There's so much of difficulty. We have to ask a question, we have to give the answer. This jnanam is so uttamam jnanam, supreme knowledge. What is the supremacy of this knowledge? See, all other knowledges relevant at a particular time becomes irrelevant after a period of time. See, Imagine someone today comes to your office and says, "Can you give me a job? What have you studied?" COBOL. COBOL, it was a language, computer language. I'm an expert in COBOL. The fellow says, "What will you say?" Huh? Today, that knowledge is what? Today, knowledge of COBOL is irrelevant, which is just a matter of 50 years back. I'm not even 50, early 90s. Early 90s only. It's not even 50, just about 30 odd years. 30 years back, that knowledge is irrelevant today. Bhagavad Gita, which was discussed, which was spoken by Krishna about thousands of years back. Earliest we are having is 5,000 years back. Right? We don't know actually how old it is, but we agree. Okay, earliest one we have 5,000. 5,000 years back, a knowledge is transacted. That knowledge is studied even today. Such a great knowledge it must be. See, relevant. How relevant that text has to be, that knowledge has to be for us to sit and study even today. Audience are there for that. Imagine if I make a full page advertisement for COBOL also. How many people will enroll? Nobody will enroll. Even today, we have people who come for this knowledge. What a great knowledge must be. Therefore, he says it is Paramjnana. It's a great knowledge. Uttamam Jnana. See, any knowledge, remember, there are two types of knowledge. One is knowledge as a means. Another one is knowledge is end in itself, which is known as sadhana jnanam and sadhya jnanam. Technically, it is known as this. Sadhana jnanam is it's a means. It is a means for you to. That knowledge by itself is of no use. Only when that knowledge acted on, you can get the fruit. You see, knowledge by itself will not solve the issue. Like, knowledge of cooking by itself will not satisfy your hunger. You have to actually cook and eat. Right? So, you need knowledge of cooking for you to satiate your hunger. But the knowledge itself will not satiate. That knowledge needs to be acted on. Only then the result is. This is one type of knowledge. There is another type of knowledge, which is knowing is enough into itself. You see, knowledge of mathematics will not make you mathematics. The knowledge of mathematics will not make you mathematics. You can be a mathematician at best. Knowledge of chemistry doesn't make you chemical, no? Isn't it? No, it doesn't. The chemicals stand independent of you. So you never become that. Whereas this Brahma Vidya, what happens? Brahmavid, Brahmaiva Bhavati. Brahman Eva Bhavati. That's what Brahmaiva Bhavati means. The knower of Brahman becomes Brahman. This is not sadhana jnanam, this is sadhya jnanam. Like all of you must have heard the story of the 10th man. The 10th fellow lost. All those 10 fellows have been studying Vedanta. Every Sunday morning, they come for Vedanta class. So the teacher said, one day, all of you go and get something from the forest. But be careful that it's a very windy one. There's a chance of you fellows, missing out. So you may get lost. So beware. So all you 10 fellows are going, all you 10 should come back. So they all went. They picked up the things and all that, they reassembled. And then after they reassembled, they wanted to have a head count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10th fellow missing. Next fellow came. Hey, you go and stand in the line. I will count. You don't know counting. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10 is missing again. And all those fellows are sitting there and started crying. Crying. One fellow is missing, one fellow missing. We don't know what that guru will do. He'll punish us. How many times I told you fellows are irresponsible. The blasting will get what to do. They are crying. And one illiterate was passing by. Right. They saw all these great pundits, scholars crying. He said, scholars crying? Why? Then they told him the story. I say, what did you do? This is what we did. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 is missing, sir. He just turned the finger. Not 10. That's all it is. Do they have to go in search of that fellow? Do they have to act on that knowledge? They don't need to act on that knowledge. Knowing is, if you know that you are the 10th, you will not have this issue resolved. After that, you'll never have this issue. Like you would have seen in Mahabharata, you'll see, Karna, if you see, till he meets Kunti, his character is one. Right? After meeting Kunti, his character changes completely. Suddenly, whole personality. Suddenly, he becomes well matured person, fellow. Till then, he is so agitated, so disturbed, so frustrated, because he was searching for, who's my mother, who's my mother, who's my mother, who's my mother. Am I a Kshatriya? Am I a Kshatriya? Am I a Kshatriya? Am I a Kshatriya? He says, because all his lifetime, all that he wants to establish was only one thing. What is it? I am a true Kshatriya. Please acknowledge me as a true Kshatriya. That's all his effort has been. Nothing else. Right through, he has been talking about, my valor, how great I am a good fellow, that fellow. All this is for what? To establish that he is a Kshatriya. Now that he knows he is Kunti's son, what happens? After he knows that he is Kunti's son, he is a Kshatriya. If someone were to call him Sutaputra, what was his reaction? Huh? You're certainly laughing at them. He just smiles and walks out. Before that, what was his state? See, the statement is same. Same fellow calls him Sutaputra, which is correct. Charioteer son, you are. But then, after he knows, what has happened? Nothing affects. Whatever people say, it doesn't make any difference to him. All his lifetime, he wants to cry out to the world that he is a Kshatriya. Now that he knows that he is a Kshatriya, what is he doing now? In fact, he takes a promise from his mother. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell Yudhishthira. Don't tell Bhima. Don't tell the Pandavas. Don't tell anyone. Even after his death, she doesn't say. You know that? In Mahabharata. She doesn't say anything. After the war was over, they have to do the final rites for all the dead people. or all the dead. They're doing final rites. And there are two ways of doing it. One is individually you do to that person, that person, that person. They belong to your family. Next one is you do Janta. Right? Yudhishthira completes. He finishes all that and comes back. That time Kunti tells him, you do specifically for Karna. He says, no ma, he's included in the Janta crowd. It's done. She says, no, you have to do it individually. That's the time. Yes. Why I have to do individually? He said. He says, because he is your brother. That is the time Yudhishthira collapses. Till that time, Yudhishthira was not. He didn't have any issue. He was very happy killing Karna. Pada. Karna is killed. He says, only now this, victory is seized. Now, killing Karna, he started feeling what? So sad. That knowledge. In life, remember, there are two types of knowledges. One is the sheer knowledge itself produces the result. Another one is knowledge needs to be acted on to produce the result. The superiority of this knowledge is knowing is enough into itself. That's why it is called the sadhya jnana, not sadhana jnana. And what is the result of this knowledge? All other things will bind you to the world. This knowledge liberates you, leads you to liberation. Therefore, it is Param, supreme. Yes. I will again declare that supreme knowledge, the best of knowledges, which having known best of knowledges, he says. Now plural comes. Of all the knowledges. But the problem is what? Do you consider this as a best knowledge? Is the point. Teacher understands this is the best knowledge. As a student, do you understand this as a best knowledge? Well, difference. So for you, what is it, sir? This is one amongst the knowledges that you can have. Along with all the things, if I can learn Vedanta also, if I can learn Bhagavad Gita also, well and good, no? Therefore, you come to class. It is one amongst. He says it is not one amongst man, this is the only one. This stands totally different from the rest. So he says, I will again declare that supreme knowledge, the best of knowledges, which having known, all sages have gone from here to ultimate perfection. Muneha means all those munis, the best of people, the sages, the best people, Uttama Muni, the best people have got this. Now you are having an opportunity, don't miss it. He says. Understood. We'll see you next class. Yes.